Okay. Chapter 22 of Job. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, Can a man be profitable unto God, as he that is wise may be profitable unto himself? Is it any pleasure to the Almighty that thou art righteous? Or is it gain to him that thou makest thy ways perfect? Will he reprove thee for fear of thee? Will he enter with thee into judgment? Is not thy wickedness great, and thine iniquities infinite? For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou hast withholden bread from the hungry. But as for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwelt in it. Thou hast sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear troubleth thee. Or darkness that thou canst not see, and abundance of waters cover thee. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold, the height of the stars, how high they are. And thou sayest, How doeth God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overflown with a flood? Which said unto God, Depart from us, and what can the Almighty do for them? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. The righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent laugh them to scorn. Whereas our substance is not cut down, but the remnant of them the fire consumeth. Acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace, thereby good shall come unto thee. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacles. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brooks. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. For then shalt thou have thy delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up thy face unto God. Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. When men are cast down, then thou shalt say, There is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. He shall deliver the island of the innocent, and it is delivered by the pureness of thine hands. Okay, so on my notes, I put, oh, okay. I was looking at the wrong chapter in my notes. Okay, so Eliphaz, it actually means God is dispenser. That's what Eliphaz's name means. And he speaks again, and Eliphaz starts harping on the sins of Job again. This trial is because of Job's sin. Eliphaz is convinced that this trial that Job is going through is because of something bad that Job did. It's all his fault. Verse 5, and I put, Is not thy wickedness great, and thine iniquities infinite? So this is what Eliphaz is saying to Job. It's like, yeah, I mean, the answer could be yes to that, and the answer also could be that it's not happening because of Job's wickedness. It could just be happening to test Job. So, this is fine. Okay. Eliphaz makes it sound like Job was one of the most evil men in the land. Yeah, verses 6 through 10. And I really don't think that Job could have done all these things. So it seems to me that they're like false accusations, because it says, For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for nothing, and stripped the naked of their clothing. Didn't say anywhere that Job did that. Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou hast withholden bread from the hungry. Well, I know that at this point, he's been getting plowed down and destroyed by the devil for a while, so I don't think he's been doing anything like this for a while. But as for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwelt in it. Thou hast sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Like as if Job is the cause for these things. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear troubleth thee. I don't think that's correct. And then I put, God walketh in the circle of heaven. And it's funny, I just wanted to note this real quick because, this is written in the book of Job, and I know that there was one thing that I was taught in school, and it was that the early voyagers and everything on the ocean, they believed that the world was flat, and that if they went to the edge of it, they might sail off the edge. And if they took this for what it says literally in the Bible, even Job knew that the world was round, because if he called the heavens a circuit, then he would know that everything's all circular. So it's funny because there's other places also in Ecclesiastes where it's like Solomon knew that the world was round and the currents of the wind, but that's just a side note. The wicked desire good things from God, but they shun his authority. Verse 19 is awesome, I put. The righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent laugh them to scorn. Okay. Oh, that was verse 19. Verse 21 says, make peace with God and you will have prosperity. And that's not necessarily true. That's not like a catch-all, end-all general rule that applies to everything. Verse 22 through 30, Eliphaz spoke truth through the end of the chapter. Yeah, because it says a lot of things like, receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacles. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir. See, these are all But at the same time, even though he says true things about God towards the end of the chapter, he still kind of speaks about God in just kind of just giving off the indication that he knows God and he knows how to relate to God, and he's going to show Job how righteous men relate to God, So it's kind of like he's saying this and he's setting himself apart from Job, by saying things like this, where he says, for then thou shalt have thy delight in the Almighty, as if Job doesn't already have his delight in the Almighty. And then he says, and shalt lift up thy face unto God, as if Job doesn't already lift his face up to God. I'm pretty sure that he does. And then it says, thou shalt make thy prayer unto him. Yeah, I'm pretty... Dude, throughout the whole book, Job's been praying to God. And then it says, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. And it's just funny, because sometimes as Christians, we can really hurt other Christians by talking about something that God has shown us in a way that seems like it's almost like I'm better than you, and this is how I'm going to prove it, by telling you something about my walk with the Lord. Whereas what I'm trying to do now, and what I think is good, is try to just talk about it like it happens to everybody, and just include, all believers, kind of, all that the Lord would save, and just kind of have humility about that whole idea of not really knowing who the heck is going to get saved and who's going to go. But I know that I want to do right by those that are saved, and so if I end up doing right by a few evil people or wicked people, and showing people a little bit too much love and a little bit too much mercy and kindness, I believe it says somewhere in the Bible that there's no law against that. So I pray that we would be people of peace, and that we would thank the Lord continually. Okay, thanks.